Keep going up strong, that was good, you got to get that in one. They're gonna call it, I know. I got you. I got you. Credit to Angel Reese, who has mastered the whisper game. She knows where the mics are at. Angel Reese finally delivered in the 3-on-3 league, unrivaled, going head-to-head against Nitha Clyer and the undefeated Lunar Owls this time. She let her performance do the talking, dropping 22 points, grabbing 21 rebounds, and leading her Rose basketball club to victory. No theatrics, no distractions, just pure skill on display. For once it seemed like she was embracing the win with true composure, but she's had a couple of big back-to-back games. I think this is her best professional game. And I came on here getting ready to prepare for this video, getting ready to praise her for all of that, and then I got to looking at the aftermath of the game, and I'm like, are you kidding me? But of course, that didn't last long. This is Angel Reese we're talking about after all. Who are we kidding, right? Just when it seemed like she would soak in the victory and move on, she flipped the switch from basketball star to WWE villain, taunting the opposing fans as if she had a personal grudge against their entire city, and the moment the crowd gave it back to her suddenly, she was the victim. Reese had one of the strangest nights of her career. There was no doubt she balled out, proving she could dominate without the usual antics. For once she looked like she truly belonged in the spotlight, but just when she had the perfect chance to walk away with a win and a little respect, she threw it all away. Instead of basking in the victory, she grabbed the mic and launched into yet another emotional monologue, talking about how hard her life is, how much hate she receives, and how unfair everything is for her to keep going. It's hard, like it is hard. To live my life isn't easy, and I don't want to get emotional, but like that's why I put the work in every day, because like there are little girls that look up to me, there are the college girls that look up to me, and just being able to be inspiration every day. So that's why I just try to keep going through all the negativity. At 22, it's hard living this life, but I'm grateful, I'm blessed, and I'm lucky to be around this group, and being here at Unrivaled has just been the best thing for me. Wait a minute, isn't this the same Angel Reese who proudly calls herself the villain, the one who claims she thrives on negativity and embraces the hate, yet here she was acting like she was being unfairly targeted, as if she wasn't the same person flexing on fans just moments before. So, which is it? Are you the fearless, unapologetic bad guy, or the misunderstood victim who just wants a little sympathy? Because you can't have it both ways because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role, I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too. And I want y'all to realize that, like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game. Then there's the interaction. Reese couldn't just take her victory lap and move on. No, she had to go out of her way to talk trash to the opposing fans, flexing and taunting like she had just won a championship. Now no one's denying that trash talk is part of the game. But if you're going to dish it out, you better be ready to take it when it comes back. And that's exactly where Reese crumbles. She loves throwing shots, but the moment someone fires back, it's a sob story. Suddenly the world is against her. She doesn't get enough credit, and the criticism is unfair. But Angel Reese, like I said, multiple phases. We have the good phase, played a great game. We have the bad phase, got in her coach's face over a challenge that they eventually lost, and she looked crazy, just screaming at Noah, Henry, blah, 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 blah. And I know this is her haters' biggest fear, was looking like one of the best players in the world tonight. Let's break this down logically. If you've built your entire career branding yourself as the tough, unshakable villain who thrives on criticism, then why are you always on the mic talking about how hard it is for you? That's like a boxer stepping into the ring, throwing the first punch, and then complaining when they get hit back. If you're going to be the biggest personality in the room, you have to own it fully, not switch narratives the moment things don't go your way. The Lunar Elves win games like they just when they're doing well, they just shout out Hootie, who, and Angel Reese after beating the Lunar Elves comes off like doing their like almost like celebrating, making fun of them, and look, it's on brand for Angel Reese. Like this is like, look, this is on brand for Angel Reese, like that's what she did, that is what she did. And look, I don't have an issue with it, and I actually don't. Like, I think you can celebrate and win sports in however you want. And the thing is, like, sports reward big characters, and as you can love Angel Reese or hate Angel Reese, but you have some feeling about it. And let's be real. If another player pulled the same stunt, the backlash would be brutal. Imagine Caitlin Clark, Nafisa Clyer, or Brianna Stewart giving a post-game speech about how tough their life is, right? After taunting the crowd, they'd be roasted for days. But Reese, she expects to play both roles, the tough as nails trash talker and the fragile, misunderstood hero all at once. Sorry, but it doesn't work like that. You can't be the one clowning opposing fans in one breath and then asking for sympathy in the next. That's not confidence, it's hypocrisy. At some point, Reese is going to have to decide who she really is. If she wants to be the villain, fine, embrace it, but villains don't beg for sympathy. And if she wants to be a respected leader, then she needs to stop making everything about controversy and actually let her game do the talking, because right now all she's proving is that no matter how well she plays, she's more invested in being a headline than being a winner. Angel Reese, you turn this into a circus. An absolute clown show, zero class. And then somehow you had the nerve to talk about being a role model. No way. I wouldn't want my daughter looking up to that. Reese isn't criticized because she's passionate or because she talks trash. Legends have done that and been celebrated for it. The real issue is that she doesn't keep the same energy when things don't go her way. When she's winning, she's the queen of the court, flexing, taunting, and making sure everyone knows she's that girl. But when she loses, suddenly she's the victim. The media is out to get her. The world is unfair. The critics are too harsh. You can't play both sides. If she really wanted to silence the doubters, she'd let her game speak for itself. She'd put up numbers, win games, and move on. Instead, every game turns into another episode of the Angel Reese show, where she's both the star and the misunderstood underdog. And let's be honest, she wouldn't have it any other way. It's been hard for me, but I try to give myself a little bit of grace. Reese's talent, no question, she can rebound, but she can't seem to just take a win and leave it at that. Every moment has to be bigger than basketball. That's why no matter how well she plays, there's always something extra, always another unnecessary spectacle overshadowing her actual performance. It's the reason people don't take her seriously. She thrives on attention, but then complains about it in the same breath. That's why every time she makes headlines, people focus more on what she said than how she played. I don't really get to speak. I just try to ignore it and stand strong. 1 minute Reese wants to be the villain, leaning into it, embracing the booze, feeding off negativity. But the moment she doesn't get the praise she thinks she deserves, she flips the script. Now she's underappreciated. Now she's unfairly targeted. Just recently, she dropped the "I changed basketball" line. Oh, really? Because last time we checked, she was the same one who said hating pays my bills. So which is it? Do you want to be the bad guy or the beloved icon? Right now, she's looking more like a WWE character with an identity crisis. 1 second, she's taunting Caitlin Clark and waving her hand in opponents' faces. The next, she's on a sympathy tour acting like she's the most underappreciated star in women's basketball. I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills. I don't even think that covers one of my bills. Let's not forget the latest contradiction, her WNBA paycheck complaint. Angel Reese went on record saying she doesn't get paid enough to afford rent. The same Angel Reese who flaunts designer outfits, luxury vacations, and endorsement deals like she's a walking Fortune 500 company now wants us to believe she's struggling financially. The same player constantly posting about getting to the bag is suddenly broke when it's convenient. It's another classic case of Reese trying to control the narrative. She's either the villain or the underdog, whichever version gets her more sympathy at the time. No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means. Look, Angel Reese is good for the game in the sense that she keeps things interesting, she brings drama, she generates discussion, but changing basketball, please. If anything, she's just changed the way people argue on social media. And as for the "I can't pay rent" storyline, either she's trolling or she seriously needs a financial advisor. One thing's for sure, she's going to keep talking and the world is going to keep watching. Just make sure to take notes, because the version of Angel Reese you see today might not be the same one you get tomorrow. So I had to watch the Lunar Owls vs. Rose replay because I was playing my own basketball game, and once again I'm reminded what Angel Reese does every night is extraordinary. I went for one loose ball and nearly twisted my ankle, so yeah. But anyway, Angel Reese, and I know this is her haters' biggest fear, looked like one of the best players in the world tonight. 22 points, 21 rebounds, 52% from the field. Angel Reese didn't just have a great game. She dominated, she torched the Lunar Owls, dropped a double-double, and made sure everyone in the arena knew it. But of course, in classic Angel Reese fashion, she couldn't just celebrate the win and move on. No, she had to turn the whole thing into a spectacle. Instead of walking off the court with dignity, she went full-on mascot mode, flapping her arms and hooting like she'd just been drafted into the Owl Kingdom. This wasn't just trash talk, it was a full-on performance, the kind of thing you expect from a halftime show, not a professional basketball player. She's out here staring down benches, flexing on defenders, making sure every camera in the building catches her reactions. But the second the energy shifts, she looks blindsided, like she just got hit with a plot twist she didn't see coming. Fans aren't just going to sit there and let her run the show without pushing back. If you clown the crowd will clown you right back, that's the game. But Angel, she wants to be the loudest voice in the room with no echo. She wants to be the trash-talking queen, but she's allergic to clapbacks. Now I'll be honest, I'm not mad at it. If you're dropping 20 and 20 against an undefeated team, you're allowed to feel yourself. If one of my favorite players did that, I wouldn't be mad, but this isn't the same thing as what she pulled against Iowa in the national championship game. Back then, she got carried. This time she earned it, but this is the equivalent of roasting someone in a group chat and then getting mad when they bring up your worst takes from 5 years ago. If you start the fire, don't be surprised when the flames reach your doorstep. Angel wants all the perks of being a high-energy, trash-talking, attention-grabbing player, but none of the consequences, and that's what makes it hard to take her seriously. She can't decide if she's the tough villain or the misunderstood underdog. 1 minute, she's all confidence and attitude. The next, she's on social media talking about how hard it is to be her. And let's be real, her notoriety is built off Caitlin Clark. She won a national title, and the first thing she did was mock Clark instead of celebrating with her team. She's played off that moment ever since. Angel finally put up a great game, and instead of using that moment to build momentum, she turned it into a sideshow. It's like she's juggling 3 careers: basketball player, influencer, and controversy queen. Caitlin Clark is in the gym putting up 1,000 shots. Angel Reese is online making sure her latest tweet gets engagement. That's the difference. And we all know what's coming next season. That first matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky Chaos, the tension is already boiling, the trash talk is already brewing, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Clark will come out locked in. Angel, well, she'll make sure the cameras are rolling whether she dominates or not, so mark your calendars. Set the reminders, grab the popcorn. This is must-watch TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks for watching, and subscribe to my channel.